from Quality of Life Now. What we do on Sunday mornings is we try to have a Qigong and Tai Chi lesson. The main focus of the Qigong is to develop your respiration, digestion, elimination, and it's all about your internal health, just so you feel better when you're going through life. I have to talk for a few minutes, so what I'm going to do is we want to warm up from the inside, so I'm going to have you do some breathing while I talk, because there's some people it's the first time they've been here. So what we're going to do is you have your feet about shoulder width and a half apart. You're grabbing the floor with your toes. You want to have a good connection with the earth. Your knees are soft. Your pelvis is rolled under. So we're up to our abdomen. As you may have heard in the news, the only way to breathe and stay healthy is to breathe with your abdomen. So you should be breathing with your abdomen all the time, but when you practice, it's especially so. We're going to breathe in, breathe out. You focus, have your mind down there. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Have your shoulders relaxed. You've got an apple, you're holding an apple under your chin. You have a slight smile. You want to feel like your head's being pulled up like you're a Christmas tree ornament. And when you breathe in, you're breathing with your abdomen. Your tongue goes to the top of your mouth. And when you breathe out, it falls down. And what to do with your hands? We have different hand movements for different seasons. We're just entering the spring season. During the winter, it's the water season, so you stand like you're in a river. What we're doing now is we're in the wood, so we stand like a tree, so our hands are up here. So we're just going to breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in. When you breathe out, you want to pull up your perineum, squeeze with your diaphragm, 6 directions of force. You're compacting your internal organ, you pull in your ribs, and you push your navel to your spine, meet. So breathing in, and then breathe out. We're massaging our internal organs, compacting them, pushing them back in place, fighting old age. They want to drop down and out, where now we're pushing them back to where they were. Okay, your job is to continue breathing while I just do the talking for right now. All right, so if this is your first time, I have to tell you that we're going to show you some movements. You shouldn't feel any pain. They're all for waking up your body, getting fluids moving through your body, but everybody has different limitations. So if I tell you to reach for the ceiling and you have, problems with your shoulders, just lift your hands as high as comfortable. Also, I'm going to tell you to bend your knees and get a little bit lower. Just go as low as you comfortably can go. You shouldn't feel any pain in your knees or anything. We're trying to get fluid and energy moving through your body, and you're going to be building up. So wherever you are today, that's fine. So you're in charge. The only other one that I want to go through is your blood pressure. If you have low blood pressure, had a stroke, or high blood pressure, when I tell you to bend over to reach for your knees or your ankles, or as low as you can go, stop at your knees. Your head shouldn't go below your sternum. Okay, so we're just going to we'll take 5 more breaths. Keep your shoulders relaxed. So you're going to breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathing with your abdomen, breathe out, compact your internal organs, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. One more time. Breathe in, breathe out. Okay. Bring your feet together. What we usually do is we start the lesson, we're like leaving our daily lives, going into the temple to practice to make ourselves better and healthier. So we do that by, we reach up, you can reach up, you're going to stretch, grab the energy from heaven, and then as you breathe out, you can compress down. So you're going to breathe in, is pulling down the heavens, breathe out, breathe in, stretch, compress, breathe out. We're doing that abdominal breathing we just did. Breathe in, abdomen goes out, breathe out. Okay, what are we going to do today? If you're it's the first time you've been here, you just missed it, we're entering spring. The Chinese have 5 seasons instead of 4, so they're only 10 weeks long. We just finished winter. Winter is the water season, so we did things to build up our kidneys, strengthen our bone density, and we worked on holding positions so we got our focus. We're traveling around the sun, so the same thing. With Qigong, we travel, each season we travel around your body so that over the year you develop everything. In spring, what happens in spring? Growth. The plants come up, they shoot out. There's upward energy. That's what wood means. It actually means wood-like energy, things growing. So what we do in the spring is we work on our tendons and our stretching. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to go through a set of movements called 3 hearts, 9 gates, or it's also called standing 8 brocades. They have a lot to do with stretching. So during the spring, we're trying to build up our tendons and our ligaments. During the winter, we built up our bones because we want to have a strong base. Now, in the summer, next summer, it's the heart, so we're going to have all this energy. We're going to be jumping around, building up our muscles, but we don't want to tear our ligaments or break our bones. So that's why we do this first. Okay, so we did the standing posture, which is standing like a tree. All right, what we're going to do next is we do 3 kind of wake up exercise movements. So the first one's called Shake the 9 Gates. So remember, we're going to learn the movement that's called 3 hearts, 9 gates. The 9 gates are your 9 major joints. That's where energy and fluid stop moving. So what we're doing is we're shaking our hands really loosely. We're trying to get energy, chi, to come out and blood to come out to our fingertips. As we get older, everything recedes from our appendages and go to our central, so we got to get it to go out to our extremities. So we're here. We start by shaking in the hands. Now we start shaking our bodies. So our hands are still shaking, but that's because our body's shaking. We're lifting up our shoulders. We're actually lifting our rib cage off our organs, and then we're dropping down. We're trying to break up adhesions in our body. So that's going to stop energy from flowing. We're going to, if you can, so if you have balance problems or worries, just have your knees go in and out. But if you can, what you want to do is you want to lift your heels just slightly off the ground and drop down. That sends a shock wave through your body. So we're trying to break up the adhesions in our internal organs. They're sticky from too much sitting at the computer, all those video games I know you're playing. Go back and forth. Just really loose. We want the skin to move over the muscles move over the bones, break up adhesions in our fascia, get the stickiness out of our organs. And then at the end, we come up and we throw the energy out to our fingers. So that's called Shake the 9 Gates. Our 9 gates are hip, knee, and ankle, shoulder, elbow, and wrist, and upper, lower, and middle back. Okay, so now we're going to keep warming up our spine and our neck. So our head follows our shoulders. And we're going back and forth. Our hands hit against our body very gently. That's stimulating meridians there. This is just waking up our body. Now we want to use our mind too. So what you do is you pick a spot and you focus. You want to increase your ability to focus, which we tend to lose as we get older. So you want to be able to turn immediately and see something. All right, if you can, if you have enough flexibility, you want to look all the way around behind you. So you look at a spot behind you, the same spot each side. Okay, so that Chinese have names for everything. So the first one is shake the 9 gates. This one is dragon shakes its whiskers. The next thing we want to do is we're still moving our spine. We're opening up our spine, separating the vertebrae, plus we're massaging our internal organs. We're straightening out the nervous system on one side and massaging the internal organs on the other. So what we're going to do is, this one, if you have like any disc problems or anything in your back, don't. This is called a crescent pose. So the first level is just put your hand on your stomach, and then this hand reaches out, reaches up, and then reaches over. So so what you want to do is your shoulders, it's as if you're up against a wall. Your shoulders are staying against the wall, so you're not twisting. You're getting your spine into a crescent shape. Letting fluids go between the vertebrae, pushing the spinal fluid up to your brain. So you're going to breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Okay, so now all you people want to go all the way. There's even more. So you're in a doorway. So this hand comes up and it presses against one side of the door frame, and this hand's going to come over and press the other. You're still not twisting your shoulders. You're staying as if your back's up against the wall. So you're going to breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, and then one more, breathe in, breathe out. You're pushing. If you can, you want your elbow also to be up against the wall. That way you're getting the most torque. All right, what we're going to work on is the 3 hearts, 9 gates, also known as standing 8 brocades. I just told you what the 9 gates are, your 9 major joints. What are your 3 hearts? Your 3 hearts are the heart in your chest. The second heart, which we already got beating, is your abdomen. Anything that pushes fluids around is considered a heart in Chinese medicine, TCM, traditional Chinese medicine. So we've got 2 of the hearts going. What's the third heart? The third heart is your calves. So the reason that they're a heart is because your lymphatic system is passive, so you actually have to move. Our body's made to move. If you don't move, your body does not function properly. That's actually, they just have new research. People are having all kinds of health problems from the COVID-19 because they just stay home and don't move. And you have to get fluids moving through your body. So the way you get your third heart going, the main way that we do it, most of the movements, is you go forward and up. Your heels, if you're not worried about your balance, you want your heels to come just very slightly off the ground. You go forward onto the balls of your feet, and then you sink down. Your toes are still grabbing the ground, but your weight is going onto your heels, and now you're sinking down. So you're going up. And this is working your calves. Your calves are pushing all that lymphatic fluid back up from your ankles. We hate all those fat ankles we get going down, so this is helping to circulate it. Even on airline magazines, they often have this. If you're on those flights to Tokyo, you're supposed to do something so you can keep it flowing. So that's number one. The other thing, which we often do, we want to have a spinal pump, which is called the dragon spine in martial arts. So what you do is, when you go up, you want to slightly turn your thorax. You don't want to lean back, but you want to try to turn your thorax up so you have what we call the horseback. So you're going up, you have your horseback, and then when you come down, when you're sinking onto your heels, you roll your pelvis under and push out your kidneys, Now you have your turtle back. So you've got up, down. This is opening up your spine and pushing spinal fluid up your spine to your brain to wash out all those toxins that we collect from too much thought. All right. So we're just going up and down. So that's called your dragon spine. It's in all martial arts, all the movements. Most of the movements that we're doing, you should be doing your thing. So we're going to go through 3 hearts, 9 gates. The first one is called, we all got nice names, we're going to split the heaven and the earth. So we're starting with our upper body. We're going to work down to our lower body. So it's like we're holding a big ball of energy. What we're going to do is we're going to turn it over. You don't want to have it right next to your body. It's out there. So you're going to turn it over. So we're here, we turn it over, and now the hand on the bottom, you're going to push up, and the hand on the top, you push up. This is called splitting the heaven and the earth. You want to pull your fingertips back so that your palm's flat, and it's like you're trying to palm the floor and palm the ceiling. That's palming the earth and palming the heavens, I guess, in this case. You want to really stretch. You're trying to work the tendons. If you just put your hands up and don't do anything, we're trying to work the tendons here. Then we come back, we hold the golden chi ball, we turn it over, and we push up on the other side. The hand on the bottom points forward, the hand on the top points in the direction of your shoulder. So we're going to breathe in, turn it over, breathe out, breathe in. So this is working the tendons, our shoulders, our wrist, our elbows. We're working the upper body. So breathe out, push. You have to push in each direction. Also, it goes across your body. You're kind of getting the kinks out of your nervous system. At the same time, you're really pushing. So that like I said, we're working on our tendons. So you're pulling your hand back and then pushing up. Come down, pull up, turn over, go down. Do one more. Breathe in, turn over, breathe out. Okay, the second one is called King Removes His Helmet, because you're gonna put your hand. This one you have to be really careful. I was studying martial arts, and when we started getting into Qigong, I just wanted to try as hard as I can, so I hurt my neck. So you don't want to do that. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take one hand, put it on behind your back on your kidney. You're gonna take the other hand, you're gonna come up. You're going to reach for your ear on the other side. Okay, so you're going to breathe in. And then as you breathe out, what you want to do is you want to look. So in my case, I have my left hand on my right kidney, and I have my right hand on my left ear. And then as I breathe out, I'm going to try to look over. I have my look to the left because I'm holding my left ear. And then I want to pull my elbow back, but don't overdo it. Your neck's very delicate, so you're going to breathe in, switch hands. As you breathe out, you pull your elbow back and look over your shoulder. Be very careful. Breathe in. This is trying to loosen up the vertebrae in your neck. Breathe out. In this case, breathe out. We pull our elbow back. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. King removes his helmet. This is a very famous series. It's usually, if you search on the internet, if you look for 8 Brocades, you'll see a lot of people are doing this. Breathe out. So this is building up. Do one more. Breathe in. Breathe out. Okay, so now we're going to work. We're moving down our body. So what we're going to do is we're going to work on our legs a bit. We're going to both stretch and we're going to work on the tendons. So what we do is this is called gather the sun to press the earth. If you've been coming, I usually do this as one of my warm-up exercises. So what you're going to do is you're going to go. Your hands are going to come up, and then you look up. You expose your throat. You want to You're not leaning back, but you want to, once again, you want to turn your chest up. So you're coming up, you're turning your chest up. As you breathe in, you gather energy from the sky, and then you bring your hands together. And then as you breathe out, you're going to pull back and put your hands on your ribs. As you pull back, you're rubbing, this is called scrubbing your ribs. You scrub your ribs, that you're activating meridians there to strengthen your internal organs. Now you have your hands on your kidneys supporting them. So we'll just do that. Breathe in. Hands come here. Scrub, breathe out. Now we're going to do our horseback and our turtle back, which is having fluids go up and down our spine. So what we're going to do is, we're here right now when we're in our horse position. We have our horseback, our back slightly arched, and we want to pull our shoulder blades together. The lower shoulder blades, upper shoulder blades, we're all hunched over. If you pull your lower shoulder blades together, that opens up your chest. And as we breathe in, we're going to bend over, but we're looking forward. We keep our back arched and we pull our shoulder blades together. You should really feel that in the upper part of your hamstrings. We're not really that warmed up yet, so don't worry about it. Also, only go as soon as you feel the pressure, just stop there. And then we did that breathing in. Now as we breathe out, we're going to do our turtle back. So we're going to go from our arched back to our rounded back. This is opening, pulling the vertebrae apart in our spine, and our hands go down the back of our legs to either, remember if you have blood pressure problems, just stop when your hands, keep your head up and your hands above only to your knees. Otherwise you can drop down, your head drops down. You can, depending on how flexible you are, you can rub your feet so that we're breathing out. So we'll go up to there, so we're going breathing in. Gather the sun, breathe out, go to our kidneys, breathe in, arch our back, breathe out, go down the back of your legs. Now we're here, we're just going to hang loose, but we're going to breathe in, fill our body, we're in our turtle back, fill our body full of air, that'll separate the vertebrae even more. And then as we breathe out, you bend your knees, your hands come up the inside, and then you try to come up one vertebrae at a time. All right, here we go. So that's gather the sun. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, arch, breathe out. Now we're pressing the earth. Pull your hands back once again. Try to palm the earth or whatever level you're at. You breathe in and then breathe out. Come up one vertebrae at a time. We'll do two more. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. And one more. When you come up, try to squeeze. Remember when we're doing our abdominal breathing, we're squeezing, massaging our internal organs. So breathe in, breathe out. Compact your internal organs with the 6 directions of breath. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. All right. So that was gather the sun to press the earth. We're going to continue. So we kind of worked our upper body when we were stretching, was splitting heaven and the earth. We did our neck. This is good. By doing this, we did our back, our upper, lower, and middle back, plus stretch our hamstrings. We're going to start working on our lower body. So what we're going to do, it's called pull bow to shoot an arrow. So you put your hand out. First of all, this one we're going to work the lower body. So you want to be going up and down. So your feet are about 2 shoulder widths apart. That's called a horse stance. Your back, what you want to do is we're going to be going up and down. This is going to be building our ankles, our hips, and our knees. If you have any knee problems, just, do whatever comfortable. If you can't get your feet straight, you can turn them out slightly, say you have an ankle problem, but then when you go up and down, your knees go in the direction of your big toes. So in this case, my feet are out 45. So see, I'm opening up this way. My knees, if I'm straight, they're going this way. Okay, what you want to do is, as you go down, you still should be able to look down and see your toe. So, and now the hard part, which is your back is up against the wall. So you're going up and down. So you don't want to do this. This is building up your lower body. What many people do when they start is you tell them to go up and down, and they go. So it looks, from the front, it might look like I'm going up and down, but see my lower body? Nothing's happening. So this is to build up our lower body so our back stays straight up against the wall. Just go whatever comfortable for you right now. So you're going to be going up and down. Okay, if you have a little bit more flexibility as you go down, you want to keep your back against the wall, but you don't want your knees to go out because you'll hurt your knees. So you want to keep your knees straight, but you want to be able to go pull back. See, my legs are still straight as opposed to projecting out, and my back's still up against the wall. So if you have the flexibility in the lower body strength, you can go down. But for right now, for most people, we're basically trying to get that lower body pump going, plus building up our ankles and knee strength. Okay, so now we're going to pull the bow to shoot the arrows. You're going to put your arm out. It's like holding. We're in a our knees are slightly bent right now. What we're going to do, we're going to go over and reach, grab the string, and pull it to the edge of our mouth. That's the kiss. And as you pull back, you want to spiral a little bit. So we're going to breathe in as we pull in, and then we let go of the arrow. Okay. So there's obviously now several things. First of all, when you reach for the arrow, my lower body's a mountain. So I'm not doing this because I'm going to twist my knee and hurt my knee. So my lower body's a mountain. My upper body, so to get over there, I have to twist my waist, and that's massaging my internal organs, strengthening my spine. So we're reaching, pulling back, and breathing out. So we're reaching, turning our waist to get the string, pull back, go out. As you come back, you pull straight across. And now it should feel like somebody's pulling my elbow and somebody's pulling my fingers. So this is just opening up my chest. So we're going to breathe in, breathe out. Okay, so now remember I said we're working the lower body. So here we go. Reach over. As we breathe in, we drop down, breathe out. We come up, grab the string, breathe in, breathe out, grab the string, breathe in, breathe out, and one more time, breathe in, breathe out. Okay, got to do the other side too. So the other side's out there. We grab the string. Remember, we're not twisting our hips, we're twisting our waist. So we pull in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, and one more time. Breathe in, pull in, you're pulling across, opening your chest, breathing out. Okay, we only did 4 of the 8 brocades, but I see the half hour's up. What I like to do at the end is try to do 5 minutes of Tai Chi. Those are Qigong movements. That's, like I said, we're trying to build up your respiration, digestion, elimination by getting, you're going to have the best internal organs on the block. So your neighbors will all be jealous they didn't come. So what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to do the last 4 next week, I guess. So if you want to have the complete set, I guess you're gonna have to come back next week. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna do 5 minutes of, in Tai Chi you move like water. Actually we'll do standing on a boat because we talked about the dragon spine. So remember, so we were doing the dragon spine, which is when you're back, your pelvis is rolled under. We're doing abdominal breathing. You're still grabbing, you're not coming up. Your toes, when you're in the back position, your toes are still grabbing the earth, and your back's rounded. You're in your turtle back, and then as you come up, you lift your heels slightly off the ground. Your shoulder blades come back, and you breathe in, and you're in a horse, and then you come back, go into your turtle. And when you come forward, we want to add a little bit extra force by moving our shoulders. So when you go up, your shoulder blades touch, and the lower shoulder blades touch, and when you come back, your collarbones touch. So now we've got our dragon spine going. So you're going to breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. This is called standing in a boat. We're basically activating our dragon spine. This is, pushing spinal fluid up into our brains, washing our brains, but we're also, because we're going up and down in our calves, we've got our third heart, our calves beating, and we're doing abdominal breathing. So we've got like 4 pumps in our body going just by doing the simple movement. So you can do this anytime, you're just waiting. You can just go back and forth. Breathe in, breathe out. So you can practice your Qigong. This is actually building up a lot of internal strength, clearing out the detritus in your internal organs because you're going. So what's the Tai Chi part? So now in Tai Chi you have your feet, hips and waist, and your hands. So what happens is your feet, movement initiates in your feet and it moves your hips and waist. So what we're doing is, as we go up, our feet, we're starting in the ground, our feet are pushing our hips up, and then our waist continues like when we go into the horse. So we're transferring the energy up and then down. So it goes, so the saying goes, hips, feet, waist, hips. So what happens is, you see, when I start going up, that throws my hands up a little bit, see? And then as I lift my waist, that continues them up. When I get to the top and I drop down, so that pulls down my hips, my hands change direction, and then I sink down into my turtle. So as I go up into my horse, I go down. So you want your hands to be being driven by your body. In Tai Chi, your hands express what your body is doing. Your body is doing. Okay. So you're going to breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in. Okay, so now the only other things that I want to tell you, because you don't have enough details already, is you do not want to do this. You don't have your arms going up and down. What you do is, somebody's tied balloons, so your hands, your wrists are kind of, your arms are being pulled up by the wrist, and your elbows stay below. You don't want your elbows, you're not like a zombie, your elbows are bent, and your hands, they only come up to about the level of your throat. Then when you go down, your hands turn over and they float down. So you breathe in, breathe out. You can use this for meditation if you want, because it's a good standing meditation too, because you're actually activating, sitting meditation is very hard. If you ever tried it, you have to sit on the floor and act like it's comfortable for 2 hours. Breathe in, and after 5 minutes you just want to stop. And you usually do, you never do it again. So this is also a meditation, but you have your heart, you have your whole body's like rejuvenating itself. So we're just going to do 2 more breaths. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Okay, so we're going to put our feet together. So now that we've done our practice, now we're going to leave the practice room and go back to our lives. So we walk through the gate which we made with it's called pulling down the heavens. You're going to reach up, gather energy, breathe out. We do it 3 times. Breathe in, pulling down the heavens. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. So now we're back to our normal life, but we clap for ourselves because we did something good. We focused on ourselves by making ourselves healthier and better. It makes the world better for everybody around us too. So we're QOLnow.com. If you want to watch this, review it later, you can type in QOLnow.com/current, and that you can see this week's lessons. We're going to do a Q&A right now. So there should be, let me help, I can't stop the music. Here it comes. Hello. So my able assistant is on the computer, and he's going to relay any questions from the chat here as soon as I get everything going. Okay. He's off-site. He's even in a different city right now. Okay. Let's see, where is the pelvis in horse spine? Okay, in the horse spine, that's when you're up and your back's arched, so it's more neutral because it's kind of straight, because you're not leaning back, so you don't want it really wrenched up. I'll try to hold my hands up, so you're up and your upper body's tilted, which means your lower back is turned in and your pelvis is straighter. When you come back, when you go into the turtle, now your pelvis rolls under, because you can kind of think of it as you're pushing out your kidneys. So you should be seeing this, because this is, like I said, it's working on your spine. You're trying to do what's called your dragon spine. So you're arched and then rounded, and your pelvis is coming out a bit, but then here it rolls under. So you're getting this means that your lower back is you're getting the lower back stretched and compressed. We're trying, like I said, we're trying to push spinal fluid up and energy up to your brain. All right, next question, and you can re-ask the question if it didn't answer it right. Any? Sorry, of course. The question is, how much food and water should you drink before the lesson? We're in the morning, so usually what I do is I eat about an hour before the lesson. You shouldn't drink cold water. You want to drink warm water. You don't want to shock your internal organs. So it's just, and also just eat. You can eat, you don't want to be sitting here the whole time thinking, oh, I can hardly wait till it's over so I can get breakfast. So you can eat just a slight thing. I actually only eat like a couple pieces of toast before this. That's what I usually eat for breakfast. The thing is also afterwards, if it's hot where you are, you're supposed to like drink warm tea or warm water. You're not supposed to run out, and because now what we've tried to do is generate heat in our internal organs, because we want to wake them up. We want to get energy. As we grow older, our internal fires die down. So what we're trying to do is re-energize our internal organs. So the movements, especially if you do them like, say you're doing these and you're going really low, you're warming up, or you're doing the breathing and you're really squeezing, you're going to warm up your internal organs. At the end, you don't want to go, well, that was great, and then drink a bucket of ice water. You just shock, you shock your organs. So afterwards, you should try to wait a little while before you drink, and then when you first start drinking, you should drink like warm tea or warm water around the temperature of your body. Well, it doesn't have to be, that's pretty hot actually. So like just room temperature water so you don't shock your body. Okay. So in the movements where your back's against the wall, should you be against the wall? Okay, that's actually an interesting thing. Unfortunately, we have all this stuff on the wall that you can, what most people do, and even I did it, which is when I was starting, when you go into horse position, your back's supposed to be going up and down, and everybody, including me, like I'd be in class, my instructors would go, back straight, and I'd be like, look, I don't understand what they're talking about. And then finally they videotaped me and I realized my back wasn't straight. So if you go do it against the wall, you shouldn't be leaning against the wall, but if you're against the wall, you can just feel if you feel your upper back just lightly touching the wall and then going up and down, your body's straight. So yeah, that can actually be a good practicing, but remember, you're not leaning against the wall. There's some ski exercise where you lean against the wall and you just sit there for like an hour or something, so you're ready for your skiing. This is, your back would just barely touch the wall. You could have your heels against the wall, and then when you're going up and down, you can tell it should be touching lightly, that way your back's straight. So yeah, that could be a good practicing at the beginning to make sure you're aligned properly. Okay, somebody said that the inside of their arms was itching a lot at the beginning of practice. Okay, so what is actually happening, that could be completely normal. What we're trying to do actually is like, when, say, shaking the 9 gates, we're trying to get energy to go out to our fingertips. And after you get it going, when you throw your fingers out, a lot of people feel like tingling things in their hands and their arms. That means that, some of the chi got down there. You're trying to get the chi going. So it's a little vague about what, it's okay if it tingles. That actually is one of the signs that things are happening. But of course, I'd have to have a longer explanation what the tingling was. This is just what you're trying to do is, like I said, get energy to go to your fingertips, and hopefully you do feel some tingling in your arms. Okay, these are, I'm actually a head instructor at a martial arts school, and so these are karate, just a karate outfit, but it's a black one from a gi, but because I have a position so that they can tell, because you want to be able to, it's a martial arts school, so everybody has to know your hierarchy, right? So by having the stripes, I had the white stripes for people with a head instructor position, have white stripes on their pants and along the edges. So I had to go just a seamstress. This is just, so it's a black, you can order a black martial arts bottoms, or you can go to probably just a regular store, sports store, and get exercise pants that are like this, but I had to have this put on by a seamstress, the stripe. All right. Is it important on which side you start? We're just doing just movements. Usually I, I don't start on a specific side, I just start doing it both back and forth. I probably start the same side every time, but I don't think, oh, I've got to start on the right or the left. When we're doing, right now we're doing the introductory thing, so for instance, yeah, so for these, it's symmetrical. Most of the ones are symmetrical. When we're doing the introductory pull, butter, shoot, and arrow, because actually what you eventually do is you switch sides, you come up, so you alternate sides. Okay, but what you can do is, for instance, like I said, I'm in a martial arts school, you're always supposed to be aware of how you do things, so when you step forward, you always step forward with, if somebody asks you a question, you step forward with your right leg, indicating you're taking the right step forward. The reason that you do it is just to be aware of things. So what you can do if you want is you can say, I'm always going to start on the right side, and always be aware of that, because then you're actually thinking about your practice. So that was actually a good question. I've done the movement so many times, I just start doing them. I guess I always start, I start by pointing the left arrow first. Okay, so any other questions? All right, should you be doing this every day? Okay, let's see, complicated question. You should be doing something every day. Like I said, right now what we do, if you follow the Taoist Tai Chi seasons, you work on a different part of your body. The three introductory things, they're just to get energy going around your body. You can do those several times during the day for like a minute each. You wanna, when you practice, like if you just go on one thing, let's say you jog. When you start jogging, your cardiovascular system builds up really quickly. But then as you run, you can actually get weaker as the months go on, because you're always exercising the same thing in your body. So you plateau, and then because those things are strong, they hardly do any work to get you going. You actually want to cycle through your body so that you're using developing all parts of your body, and you're not plateauing. And there's ways to practice. You take your lessons. That's your formal training. You can have a set time that you practice every day. Like I say you do Tai Chi for half an hour at 12:30 every day. The other one is opportunistic training, by which you can actually practice for half an hour a day without actually doing anything, because you can, while you're waiting for the toast, you just, stand on a boat for like 2 minutes. If you do that 10 times during the day, you practice 20 minutes. So doctors have found that, I think it's 20 minutes a day. Anybody who walking counts, though. They found walking's a really good exercise. If you don't move for at least 20 minutes a day, your health just drops down. So yeah, you want to do something every day. It's good if you can, like we're going to do these for 10 weeks, it's good if you could do them every day for at least a certain length of time. You can also just do like 5 breaths, do them for 5 breaths each side. It'd probably take you 10 minutes to do that twice a day. You want to have regular practice, but you also don't want to become obsessive or hurt yourself either. I don't know if that helped. The style that, for the movements that I do are Yang style, Yang-like style. There's they're the slow, fluid movements. Some of the other styles, they have what's called Fa Jing, where you make fast movements, like you gather your energy and then you project it. What we're trying to do is get fluids moving through our body. So we're trying, we're trying to, in yang style, you're trying to get your body coordinated. You move slowly, so you have to build up an awareness of where your body is each second. And we're basically trying to, it's a water, yang style is a water style, so you're trying to get fluids moving through your body. Most people study a form called Tai Chi 2024, but that's, the Yang family doesn't want you to call that a Yang style, even though what they did, the Chinese government thought that the communist government knew that the people needed to be healthy, so they wanted people to study Tai Chi, but they didn't want them to study martial arts, so they got a bunch of people together and they made a form called Tai Chi 24, which is a fairly, it's about 100 moves. In Tai Chi 24, for instance, that counts as one movement. So when you add them all up, there's probably 100 movements, but people practice that for health, but it wasn't condoned by even though they took all the movements from the Yang style, the Yang family didn't develop it, so they don't like you to call Tai Chi 24 Yang style, but that's, most people, but it's similar. Tai Chi 108, those are a kind of Yang style. All right. Okay, so that's the last of the questions. So we'll see you next week. Like I said, if you want to go on and see this, it's QOL now /current. So anyway, that's it. Any other questions? Oh, and you can now register at our website if we're going to eventually have downloads and things. We're trying to redo our websites because there's so many people coming now. So you can become a member, a QOL Now member, and get all whatever the benefits will be. Hopefully it'll be a lot. So here we go. You can terminate it.